If you treat New Year's Eve like a completely normal day, no big parties, no dramatic countdown, number, this has to be the best night of the year pressure, there's a good chance your mind works very differently from most people as. You might even look around and wonder, is there something wrong with me? Why don't I feel that excited? But psychology would say the opposite. It's often a sign of rare traits, not a lack of them. First, you probably value consistency over hype. A lot of people love New Year's Eve because it lets them escape their normal life for one night. For you, that's not very appealing. You care more about how your life feels on a random Tuesday than how it looks on December 31st. You don't want one magical night. You want a life that doesn't need to be escaped from. You don't need fireworks to prove your life is meaningful. Second, you likely have a low need for social approval. Many people post their New Year celebrations, their outfits, their parties, their New Year, New Me speeches online, not just to remember the moment, but to be seen having a good time. You, on the other hand, don't feel that pressure. If you stay home, read, sleep early, or just treat it like any other evening, you don't feel the need to justify it publicly. You don't measure your worth by how exciting your life looks from the outside. Quiet contentment means more to you than loud attention. Third, you probably think in years, not nights. You understand something that a lot of people avoid. Your life will not magically change just because the calendar flips. The same habits, the same emotions, the same patterns will follow you into the next year unless you do the work. So instead of obsessing over one night, your brain goes to bigger questions. What did this year really teach me? What do I want more of? What do I never want to repeat? You don't chase the feeling of a perfect night. You care about building a better year. Fourth, you might be more introverted or sensitive to stimulation than you realize. Big crowds, loud music, forced small talk. That might not feel like celebration to you. It might feel like overload. So your nervous system quietly says, no thanks. You recharge in calm, familiar environments. A simple meal, a warm light, a comfortable bed can feel much safer and more genuine than a loud room full of people you barely know. You're not boring. Your nervous system just prefers peace over chaos. Fifth, you're likely less influenced by social pressure. Culturally, New Year's Eve is sold as a night that must be special, must be memorable, must be full of fun. When you ignore that script and just do what feels right for you, that shows psychological independence. You don't automatically copy what is normal just because everyone else is doing it. You quietly ask, do I actually want this? And if the answer is no, you're okay doing something completely different. You're not antisocial. You're just not easily controlled by trends. Sixth, you probably have a stronger relationship with your inner world than your outer image. For some people, New Year's Eve is about showing they have friends, a life, a plan. For you, it might be more about what's happening inside your mind and heart. Maybe you spend the evening reflecting, journaling, cleaning your space, or simply existing without pressure. You might not even realize this, but that sort of gentle self-connection is rare. While the world is celebrating loudly, you are quietly checking in with yourself. Seventh, there's a good chance you're emotionally tired of pretending. If you've had years where you forced yourself to celebrate when you didn't, to feel like it fake smiled through parties or tried to create a perfect night, only to feel empty afterward, your brain may have learned something important. Forced joy doesn't feel like joy. So now, instead of forcing yourself to follow the script, you choose honesty. If you feel neutral, you allow yourself to be neutral. If you feel reflective, you allow yourself to be reflective. You're not chasing a movie moment. You're choosing emotional truth over performance. Eighth, you probably care more about real change than symbolic change. You know that writing 2026 instead of 2025 won't automatically heal your wounds, fix your habits, or erase your past. You're aware that real growth is not seasonal. It happens in quiet decisions repeated over time. That's why the idea of pretending that everything will be different just because the year changed might feel fake to you. Deep down, you know, if you want a different year, you have to show up differently over and over when nobody is watching. Choose a theme, not a persona. Instead of trying to become a brand new character on January 1st, you might naturally think in simple themes like more peace, better health, stronger boundaries, less drama. Even if you don't say it out loud, your brain is probably already picking a direction instead of a performance. You don't need to throw away your old self to grow. You just need to guide yourself a little more gently but firmly. Maybe you don't treat New Year's Eve like a big deal because you realize something many people haven't. Your worth is not decided by how you start the year, but by how you live it day after day and all the ordinary moments no one ever posts about. So if you're at home while the world seems to be counting down and celebrating, don't assume you're missing out or doing life wrong. It might simply mean your mind is quieter, more independent, more honest than you give yourself credit for. You're not behind. You're just not hypnotized by the idea that happiness has to arrive at midnight. You're allowed to want a simple night. You're allowed to treat it like any other day. And you're allowed to build a life where you don't have to wait for a new year to feel like things can change.